One of the biggest problems facing 80 to 95% of college students is procrastination, and it costs the US economy $650 billion every single year. Give Me Back My Time is on a mission to help reduce procrastination by both incentivizing and penalizing individuals for wasting time on mobile or desktop devices. Over the last few weeks, we have been doing market research and customer validation. We marketed our pre-launch website to over 1,000 college students across Australia, and we achieved around 100 sign-ups. In the following business plan, we have used tools like the Porter's 5 Forces analysis and bottom-up market estimations to help showcase the potential of the idea, the severity of the problem, and how we plan to solve it. Please visit our pre-launch website. The link will be in our report. Procrastination is a huge problem for the modern-day student, especially distraction from mobile and web devices, specifically social media and online streaming. The problem impacts up to 95% of students and leads to poor grades and overall health. In 2002, the cost of procrastinating on taxes totaled $473 million in overpayments. There is no real working solution. In fact, chronic procrastination is on the rise, with 5% of the population suffering from chronic procrastination in 1978 compared to 26% in 2007. Last March had the highest number of Google searches in the last 2 years for the term "how to stop procrastinating." 962,000 people searched for the term "how to stop procrastinating" on Google in last March alone. We believe that the market is large enough to support substantial growth, and through our market research, chatting to our peers, as well as the 8.3% conversion rate on our website, we have concluded that the problem is very evident and continues to grow every single year. The initial structure of the team is broken down into 3 key areas: marketing, finance, and product development. We believe building a team centered around these key areas are necessary to achieve initial milestones and objectives, which also includes our MVP. We've decided to bring on board a CTO to develop the app in-house. We believe that this is cheaper and a less risky way than outsourcing development, especially when we're still validating our idea. And it also allows us to be more agile, especially in our initial validation stages when the features can be changed quickly. We have created an organizational chart to help outline our team structure, the roles and responsibilities of each team member, and the experience and skills that makes this good for our roles.
This part of our report will talk about the market and competitive analysis of our target market. So first we've decided to do a market analysis to really understand who our target consumer is. So we've broken it down into 4 separate subgroups: their demographic, psychographic, geographic, and behavioral aspects. So we're really targeting university students who are between 17 to 27 years old, who are really struggling with procrastination. So they're not really productive in university and just failing university subjects that are really hindering them in the future. Next, we've decided to do a competitive analysis to really understand the industry that we operate in. There's relatively no competition in the industry is relatively moderate. There's no huge competitor in the industry, although there are lots of competitors competing for market share. And there is one core competitor who's identifying exactly the same problem that we are. The potential new entrants is relatively high. The costs of development are relatively low. And because of the short turnaround time of applications, there's a lot of competitors that can spring up at any moment. The power of supplies is really high. We're dependent on basically Apple's terms and services, and our application must adhere to them to continue to be on the Apple Store. The power of buyers is also really high. Being a mobile application, consumers may switch over to other similar products whenever they feel like it. The threat of new substitute products is also really high. There's a large amount of self-help products. Out there who are targeting increasing productivity. So we'll really have to compete with these products out there to ensure that we're competing for the same market share. We'll be taking an iterative approach to the development of our application. We're going to break it down into 5 separate builds to ensure that our application, our developer, and the rest of our team is developing the actual core product that we want to be developing, and not using a more waterfall approach where the entire application is developed before we have any room or words to speak. So inside our report, we've broken it down into 5 delivery cycles that we think help to build the minimum value product. In terms of intellectual property, there's 3 types of intellectual property out there, more related to, mobile applications. There's copyrights, patents, and trademarks. We've broken down our intellectual property strategy, and we think it's going to be really important to make sure that we stay relevant in the market and to make sure competitors don't copy our products. Inside our intellectual property strategy, we're going to be leveraging off our weaknesses, which is understanding the legal minefield and hiring intellectual property lawyers who are able to help us in securing the right type of patents, copyrights, and trademarks, and when exactly to get them to ensure that our mobile application is able to generate as much momentum and to prevent people from copying our idea as possible. Understanding risk is really important. That's why in our report we've decided to correlate the likelihood of risk against the severity of the risk. So we've broken it down to 5 different types of risk: product risk, market risk, people risk, competitor risk, and finance risk. We think that the real core risk that we're going to have, which is the highest severity and the highest likelihood of actually happening, is our product risk. So our product risk is actually relying on a few of our other a few of the other risks that we've segmented, such as, are we going to have the right type of people to develop our product? Are we going to have the right type of finances to fund the development of our product? Are we going to realize that the market out there is actually competitive and the market is actually out there and they're looking for an application like this? And so we're doing surveys now and setting milestones of reaching 1,000 of our peers to understand whether they're interested in an application like this. And finally, the competitor risk, so looking at whether there's competitors out there, whether there's intellectual property out there that's going to prevent us from actually developing our application.
I'm going to go through some of the assumptions and limitations related to the financials. Our conversion rate, 8.3%, is much higher than the average click-through rates, 0.4% for Facebook and 1.3% for Instagram, which could result in overestimation in sales. The survey also indicates that the maximum amount that users would spend on the app is $60. Consider people who sign up are the ones who really need some help with self-control, so we estimated the average spending across all users to be $20. We set the goal for the advertising to be viewed by 100,000 people for the first 2 years, then followed by an increase of 50,000 people each year for the following 3 years. The reason that we are going to increase the advertising budget after 2 years is because the P&L shows profitability for the first 2 years, which allows us to fund more ads and hoping to make more sales. No features are available though upon viewing the app unless signing up and purchase credits through the app. It is acknowledged that people are more likely to spend small amount for the first time and increase the amount later. However, to minimize errors and in calculations, we assume that every click is equivalent to a $20 purchase, which can be used up at once or spread all across the whole year. We will be working for free for the first year to get the business up and running, with a profit of $43,000 at the end of the first financial year. We will be paid $100,000 in total in the second year, which including the payback of the $10,000 initial capital, as the net profit keeps going up in the third year and is expected to remain on the same level for the following 2 years. A decision to increase wages to $140,000 each year has been made because all of us will be dedicating all of our time into growing the business. The app development cost was quoted at around $100,000 for 400 hours worth of work. The $100,000 has been evenly applied at the cost of sales every month in the first year. It does not mean that it will take up the whole year to develop the app, as we are trying our best to roll out the app before the start of the 1st of July. The reason that we have allocated the cost as an ongoing concern because we cannot afford to pay upfront with cash. So instead, it is funded by sales. Also, it is necessary to allocate 20% of the cost of the development of the app into maintenance fee from the second year onwards. Now, let's look at profit and loss statement. The net income stream has been a steady $3,600 cash flow every month except for a dip in the beginning because of the initial setting up costs. The net income is estimated to decrease to $27,000 in the second year because of wages, and goes back up to $58,000 from the third year through to the fifth year. The increase in sales after the second year corresponds to the increase in ad spending during the same period. We understand that there's a great degree of inaccuracy, where in most cases the increase in budget might have a lag effect on the sales figure, which makes it almost impossible to result in an instant pushing sales. The cash flow statement tells us at the end of year, cash position has been quite optimistic, with steady increase from $62,000 in 2018 to $158,000 in 2021. Let's look at balance sheet. As the app is used in a major part of the company's operation that is intended to provide profits and it costs $10,000. So we've capitalized it as property, plant, and equipment, and it is being amortized over 5 years. The final net assets figures has shown a constant decrease due to the amortization. ROI measures the amount on an investment relative to the investment's cost. Our ROI figure after the 5th year is 475%, which is an excellent result. The annualized ROI is 41.88%, which is also very good. Thanks for watching the video. We hope you see our business potential and how it can really help the students, as well as achieving desirable returns.